Ash, as some of you know me. Thank you for tuning in for the Storians. This week, an interesting episode. One of our old school guests and my longtime friend Spencer Linn has come on the podcast to promote his new album, Vesica Pisces, with the band The Odius, out June 21st. I am very lucky as I have gotten to listen to the entirety of this progressive death metal band's third album, or I guess second long play album, and it is truly a wonder. From everything to the Vesica Pisces suite, Glowjaw, Hastur the Shepherd God, and Vesica Pisces exploring intricate and new musical motifs, to the punishing nature of heavy rhetoric, misalignment and misuse, and the intrinsic haunting beauty of both the track I'll be playing for you today and the song The Fix. This album has a little something for everyone. Spencer goes into a little more detail about where you can find and pre-order this album, but we're very excited to get to help promote the song. The song that we'll be listening to a clip of today is Mono no Aware, which is a Japanese word about a concept of the awareness of impermanence. The song explores how that can feel bleak, but also how that can draw you into, well, living your day-to-day life in the best way you possibly can. I think it's a truly beautiful song and one of my favorites off of the album. So without further ado for the Storians, enjoy this clip of Mono no Aware. Hey, welcome to For This Story, the only podcast that learns its oral sex techniques from the dogs in John Wick 3. That's right, a lot of teeth. I'm Ash.
And I'm Avery, and Jesus goddamn Christ.
Told you wouldn't like it.
No, you were totally right. But hey, we have a special guest this week on For the Story. We got Spencer Linn from the Odius here with us in the studio.
Idiots Discuss the Universe, his podcast.
Hell yeah. Exactly.
What's up, guys?
Not too much. Spencer, why don't oh my goodness. See, I already can't talk. See, I drink one glass of red wine and I'm fucked for the entire
episode. What they say
episode.
about bartenders, Avery, is they have no alcohol tolerance and...
What, they say things about bartenders?
Oh, yeah. You don't even know, man. We say all kinds of things about
no one talks about them. No one even really acknowledges them as humans.
Wait, who?
That's so sad. So Spencer, why don't you tell us a little bit about your various projects we have going on here before we get into some stuff we've watched for the week.
Yeah. Man, so I've got the Odius, which that's my band, and you know we've been not a band for quite some time, and now we're a thing again, and we're releasing a new album, and I'm stoked about that. We've been releasing singles and whatnot, so that's going to come out in June.
What's it called?
June 21st. It's called Vesica Pisces.
That's a silly name. Is that Latin?
Whoa.
It's it's a little bit Latin, and I think it directly translates to a fish's bladder, which I found out well after naming the album that. But it's also like,
it sounds so cool.
Sounds so cool, man.
Honestly, you should go for the English translation.
Yeah, dude. Turn the metal world on its head.
Yeah, have you heard that new album? What's it? Fish's Bladder? I think it's
Fishes. Yeah.
brutal.
Damn, dude, those guys are fucking cryptic.
What does that mean?
Yeah. And I also do a podcast called Idiots Discuss the Universe, and that's just a silly goose time on that one. Well, sometimes it gets weird and serious, but a lot of times it's just goofing around.
Actually, Spencer found his biological father on an episode of Idiots Discuss the Universe. You better download all the episodes so you can find out which episode that is.
Yeah. I don't want to give that away. It was a long search, and I'm happy to say
A long episode.
Yeah. It was.
You recorded
a
the plane
long
ride. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was actually groundbreaking podcasting, with gritty and
The only 36-hour podcast.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, you hear me talking to the concierge at the hotel.
Crying because your credit card got declined.
Yeah.
On something embarrassing.
Yeah, I have like a meltdown in the lobby. And then that's when my dad comes in and he finds me and then he changes my diaper. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, you're gonna have to look through their catalog for that one. That's
definitely peep that.
Deep digging.
It's a good time. So thanks for having me on, you guys. I'm stoked to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Definitely have a lot of memories of us seeing movies and talking about them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Asher and I would get real baked and watch good and really, really bad movies.
Yeah.
That was
Spencer
very
and I,
fun.
That's what we like
we
here.
watched Fairly Lethal together for the first. That was my
Right,
first.
dude. I'll never forget.
That's like our podcast favorite movie, I think, so
Yes.
far. I'm pretty sure that's like our favorite one we've talked about. We still have jokes that like are far reaching deep into like more recent
Dude,
episodes. It's great.
It is like that is a subgenre of movie that is, when it's so bad. I think it's better than like The Room, but it's in that like same sort of trajectory where it's like so terrible. You're like, wait, is this like actually the best movie I've ever seen?
I think what's so funny about that movie is that like on the surface level, if you turn your brain off, it all makes sense. But when you start looking at it realistically, it's all very bizarre and like nothing seems to fit.
I mean, Topher
I
Grace.
think I like that.
In his photo game.
Yeah, Topher Grace and his mustache.
Oh my god, it's all coming back to me, dude.
It's so strange.
Shit. Yeah, it's a weird one.
Like, why?
I don't know why, but I'm glad.
That being said, we all saw something completely different this week.
Yeah.
We all saw John Wick Part 3.
I think you're wrong about that.
I know
We actually watched an extended cut that I personally edited together of just 4.5 hours of the disco scene from Matrix 3.
Wow.
Oh my god.
You guys watched that, right?
It's like you were really there. Yes.
Yeah. No, that's what we watched, right? I mean, that's
Yeah, definitely a lot of some Matrix stuff going on here. I have like
I didn't get any
that's
of
a
that.
pro and a con for me, so we're going to talk about that as the episode moves forward. But we saw John Wick Part 3. What's it called? What's the subtitle
John
for
Wick
this?
Chapter 3. Parabellum.
it's excuse me, it's
Parallelum?
Parabellum.
Oh, like a parabola, right?
So yeah,
Yeah.
Portobello.
And then it arcs and it
John
comes
Wick
back.
Chapter
Portobello.
That's what it's like. There's a part where they said the name of the movie. The thing.
Oh yeah, they literally say Parabellum.
Yeah.
Looked in the camera and like winked.
and winked and,
did,
smiled.
I just did like the cringy. I went to see with my friend Jeremy. Asher knows Jeremy, and I was like, They said the name of the movie, Jeremy. But I like whispered it really loud so like other people could hear it. And I could just like Jeremy just like fucking cringed. He didn't even laugh. He was just like, shut the fuck up, dude. But it made me laugh.
You're keeping up that bit we talked about doing where you were like my special brother and I take you out to the bar and wingman you.
Oh yeah, I said he said the name. He said it.
Yeah, no, great job,
it.
Spencer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, yay. I don't know why I have to be the special one every time. You know.
Well,
like,
I feel like we could swap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like we.
And it's because of your protruding brow ridge.
You know what? I can't help if I'm a little Cro-Mag, dude. If I'm just rocking a little bit of the Cro-Mag brow, you know. I think that's in right now, actually.
Yeah, I've seen the haircuts.
Wait, what hair?
We also watched other movies this week. So as our guest, Spencer, would you like to tell us a little bit about some movies that you saw this week and whether or not you'd recommend them?
Dude, I saw the latest Baywatch movie with The Rock. Dude,
With Dwayne The Rock Johnson, correct?
Dude, can we all agree that Dwayne is a fucked up name?
And that, like, he's been paring his name down for decades. He should just be going by Dwayne at this point, right?
It sounds like you said Wayne, but you are like, you know, got hit by a car at some point in your
Like
life.
a Cro-Magnon.
Yeah. And now you can only say Dwayne. Anyway,
I mean, it's him and Terry Crews. Like, Terry is not a human name.
Terry Crews is not in the one I saw.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's kind of similar to Dwayne.
As a comparison.
I was like, that guy didn't look anything like Terry Crews. I was like, that's not racist, is it? No,
I mean, they both have dumb first names. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay, yeah.
So Baywatch, though,
Yeah,
with starring Dwayne. Who else was in that? I think it was like Zac Efron,
Dude,
right?
Zac Efron was in it, aka Ted Bundy.
He gets like pigeonholed into all these like kind of mid-tier to lower tier comedy films.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, definitely. And this one, I honestly was pleasantly surprised because clearly I was going into the new Baywatch with like, okay, like I'm ready to just fucking lampoon this, you know, like.
Yeah, of course you can.
But it was like,
you gotta have a humor.
Yeah, right. But it was very self-referential and kind of like and funny. And there's like the kind of chubby guy who tries out for Baywatch, but the joke is he's got a huge dong, and he gets it stuck in various things, and that's just great.
That's a relatable character.
That's horrible.
No, it was good, man. It was good in it's hard to explain because like, you know, there's those movies that like this movie was trying to be a good movie, you know, but it sucks. Baywatch, they were like, no, we're not going to try to make a good
It's
movie.
gonna be
like,
bad, and they're gonna nuke it.
Yeah.
Yes.
They nuked it, but they were like, I mean, no one's gonna take this seriously, you know, so they kind of leaned into it, and yeah, it was a bunch of lifeguards solving crimes, you know. Like
I think when directors and producers lean into the fact that they know that their movie's gonna be really dumb, it always turns out better. Like if it's self-referential, if it understands what it is, it always turns out coming on like maybe not always, but I mean like it occasionally comes out on the opposite end.
I feel like
it
that's
ends up being like,
a lot of movies we've seen.
It's definitely a gamble. It's definitely a creative gamble to go down that route, but it can pay off, you know.
It's just like sometimes it ends up being like depressing when they take themselves so seriously. Like Detective Pikachu, I think was a great example
Human
of a
teeth,
movie.
the film.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
what?
Yeah, all the Pokemon had
should
human
have
teeth.
known.
No.
Yeah, it was
It's
bad.
always
Some of the
something
creative
like
design,
that, dude.
misguided.
Oh, it's always something like very unfortunate. Like, oh, you could have pulled it off.
It just takes it. Oh my god! Like nobody told them in pre-screenings. Like this makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, like it was uncomfortable. Like nobody was discomforted.
They were in maybe like
leaving
7% of all shots, but those 7% like haunted you for all the other shots.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, they were really hit or miss because there was some stuff that looked like, like, hey, cool, all right, I remember this. Like, this looks like how I pictured it in my head as a kid. But then there were some, like, shots where it was just like, oh, my God, that's just disgusting. Like, I'm just uncomfortable. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Pikachu shouldn't look sticky.
Yeah. Well,
It was like a sticky, something.
No, man.
But, hey.
Yeah, that whole thing disturbs me. We're getting really deep into the like kind of uncanny valley territory with a lot of this CGI that's going on, like with the with Will Smith as the genie.
We talk a lot about Will Smith's genie on this. He's almost a guest host at this point.
Yeah, he should be. You guys need like a soundboard with him on it. But
Oh my God, excellent.
Baywatch. Do you guys watch anything good? Anything great?
I watched.
Oh my
a
God.
couple things. I watched Life After Beth, which is a film with Aubrey Plaza, John C. Reilly, the lead guy from Chronicle, about how a guy's girlfriend dies and then she comes back, but she's a zombie, and but she's like really creepy and like just like she's just trying to fuck him a lot for like the first maybe hour and 15 of the hour and a half movie, and then
wait. She's not trying to eat his brains.
she's just like kind of pale and like likes her attic a lot. Like that's how they decided to characterize their zombies, and then something has to happen, so she goes
just
crazy.
Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
So it's just Aubrey Plaza playing Aubrey Plaza.
Only slightly more pale. So that was actually, everyone hates it on Rotten Tomatoes, but I thought it was really fun.
Okay.
I saw The Village, which I'd never seen before. That is a very entertaining first 20 minutes of a movie.
Best 20 minutes of a movie.
Yeah.
Like, if you're talking about openers, it's so intriguing, isn't it? Like, it starts off so strong.
Could have been so good.
It could have been. But
could
then
have
M.
been,
Night Shyamalan like
potential.
ran out of his juju like halfway, like
Right.
20 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
It's almost like you can see where his career was going to take a turn for the worst in that movie.
Yeah.
It's like midway through, you're like, oh, man.
can see the
this-
moment.
It like took me like way too long
This is
to
it.
figure out that girl was blind.
Yeah, she should have been playing that up more. She should have been tripping over shit and stuff.
Yeah, she sprinted like in what seemed like a tactical course that they make you do to like get into the SEALs or something. Like at one point in the movie, and I'm like, how is she?
about that.
And she's blind. As soon as she sits down, it's like she's blind. Okay.
Right. She's feeling around for like the plate on the table or whatever.
Yeah. And then
It's
I'm
been a while.
going to recommend a podcast. If you haven't listened to it yet, Punch Up the Jam. Punch Up the Jam's a great podcast. They take a song, analyze it lyric by lyric, and then rewrite the song with a punch up. I just listened to their Paramore Misery, what's the name of that song? Misery Business punch up, where they do a Misery Business cover that is the plot of the film Misery. And it's fantastic.
Oh my god. I gotta be in the right mood for that.
Plus, I have a big
that
crush
sounds-
on one of the hosts, so that helps.
Oh.
The truth comes out.
The songs. I love music.
It really does.
So I watched some stuff too.
Yeah.
I have I'm a big fan of the Shudder hole, as I like to call it. I go deep
Excuse
into
me.
the dark
sex
recesses of
movie,
Shudder.
right?
Have you ever heard of Shudder? This is excellent. It's like Netflix, but it's all horror movies.
Yes, I have heard
Yeah.
of that.
And there's some terrible stuff on there.
Oh,
some,
man.
some terrible stuff.
depraved.
I watched a really, really good movie. I watched two, okay, like that come to mind, at least at this time. The first one that I watched was Reanimator, which is something that I'm revisiting. Really fucking good. I watched it like years and years ago. It has some dude in it. I can't remember. He's only been in Reanimator movies, but really, really gross out, like kind of practical effects. Came out in the 80s, so everything was like really fun and visual in that
Based
way.
on, H.P.
But
Lovecraft.
also cheap. Yeah,
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
I was
it's an
wondering
H.P.
if it
Lovecraft.
was.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And that's a super exciting, fun movie. That's on Shudder. Also, I watched a movie on the opposite end of the spectrum, a movie that was not as good, because Shudder does produce their own films, or at least they do this thing where it's like Shudder exclusive or Shudder original. But oftentimes they're in other languages, so I have a feeling that they have somebody who's buying them up. I don't really know exactly what's going on
Netflix
there,
is
but
doing the same thing, where it's like a weird amount of Asian horror movies. movies are popping up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Asian horror is actually pretty goddamn
no, they're
cool.
good.
There's some really good Asian horror.
South Korean horror.
Oh my
movies?
god!
Fuck.
Have you seen Train to Busan? Because that movie is really fucking cool. If you haven't,
No, I'm honestly afraid to watch a lot of South Korean horror stuff. 'Cause I'm just like, dude, you guys
it's scary.
you guys take it way too far.
Like, you know, 'cause
Yeah, Asian horror is really like it's totally different from American horror, which is all about like haunted houses and dumb shit like
Right.
that. But and slashers, which are stupid but so entertaining to me. Speaking of slashers, I watched a movie called The Ranger. It's a Shudder exclusive.
it's kind of like Snowpiercer,
I
right?
would say like. And nothing like Snowpiercer.
Avery
I
has
can't even
brought up
like
Snowpiercer
the farthest
like a
thing.
dozen times.
Snowpiercer.
Yeah, it's a sex movie.
It's
It does sound like I was gonna.
It's
I was
not. It's kind of
guessing.
like
I was gonna
it's
guess.
kind of like Train to Busan. Actually, no. It's a movie with Chris Evans. He's on a train, and then they like I don't know. It's like they rush to the
Have
front.
you
to
not seen
kill the
this
big
movie
bad.
that you've referenced like 12 times?
I've seen it. I swear to God, it's good.
He's like lying about.
It's kind of
The
a-
synopsis you just
Snowpiercer.
gave me is what I got from seeing the photo cover of the film.
You're on a train.
Exactly.
No,
It's not that much different from the photo cover.
wow.
Yeah.
That's riveting.
So there you go. I also recommend Snowpiercer.
Sounds like a real shudder.
There you go.
Real. You're taking a real shut over everybody. Oh, that's bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a
we
real
can edit
terrible
that out, right? We can edit that.
We'll bleep it out.
I've just been sitting around like the past 5 minutes trying to think of like a Shudder based pun, and that was the best one that I came up with. So, that's
Great.
my contribution.
Keep your shutters open.
Yeah.
None of them are
fine.
good. All right. I blame the content. Spencer and I are brilliant and funny, and it's the word shutter's fault.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, I just want it to be shit. Like I'm trying to replace it with
Oh,
shit.
that's what you were doing.
Yeah, take a shut. You take a shut all over it. Take a big old shutter.
You can
So
stop.
what else you guys? What else you guys got going on today? You watched the Blade?
Well, we talk about stuff that we watched recently. We're also going to talk about a movie that we watched much more recently. Speaking of John Wick Part 3, Parabellum. We like to Portobello.
Greasy.
Cerebellum, that part of your brain?
Yeah, that is Avery.
I don't know. Whatever.
I'll show you sometime.
It's not part of my.
So we always like to talk about our expectations going into the theater just a little bit.
Are we gonna break down the budget?
Oh yeah, we are going to break down the budget. Yeah, let's break down some budgets. Let's do that.
All right.
Let's do it.
We're breaking down walls. We're breaking down budgets.
Insert bad
down
song
Barry.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. So John Wick has only been out since May 17th, which is 3 days prior to our recording of this episode, and has brought in a total of $93.3 million in its opening weekend.
Wow.
It was the number
That's
one
impressive.
film of the weekend, the first film that has taken down Avengers Endgame, which is now at the $2.7 billion mark, closing
Oh,
in
take that.
Lord.
slowly.
And
I like that metric there. That's good. Let's keep that metric going through the summer.
Almost gonna catch Avatar. We're gonna see. But in terms of R-rated openings, John Wick has landed at number 17 domestically. And now I'm gonna quiz you guys. What do you think are the 16 films, R-rated films, that might be ahead of John Wick Part 3? Portobello.
Oh my God. I got one right here. Deadpool probably was above it, right?
Yeah.
1 and 2. That's Deadpool 1 and 2 are number 1
Yeah.
and 2.
I want to say like
Yeah,
Get
I had a
Out.
feeling.
Was
Get
Get Out
Out.
in there?
Ooh, Get Out was that
It was
R?
PG-13, but you are in the right realm.
that was a
You're
close.
very
What was the one?
Yeah.
What was the one that just came
Was
out?
it Us?
Yes, Us is number
Us,
11.
yeah.
Okay.
Other
What about that
R-rated
new?
movies?
That might have been PG-13 too. The remake of the slasher film with fucking not Judi Dench, but fucking Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was Halloween up there? It was.
Halloween
I know
is
it made a
not,
lot of
but
money.
There is a slasher adjacent film. Oh, actually, no, it is. What am I talking about? It's number 10. Sorry about
Oh,
that.
cool.
Oh,
Sick.
excellent. Cool.
Yes. Yeah, I was like,
my God.
don't fuck with me on that one.
Yeah, this is a shot in the dark, and you know what? I don't know. Again, shot in the dark. Is Die Hard on there? I feel like Die Hard has to be up in there, like somewhere.
Is that rated R? I don't think it's rated
Is I thought it was.
He does say fuck.
He does say fuck, and that's what I'm thinking.
But you get one fuck, right?
I think you get one. I mean, like
maybe you do.
I've gotten one before.
Who decreed that? What a bizarre.
Are we talking about?
Yeah,
the King of England decreed that.
you get one fuck per R rating, or no, PG-13 rating. I don't know. You get 3 shits.
What is this?
Let's
You
see.
use them.
No, Die
sparingly.
Hard's R. It's not in there? I'm surprised. I thought that movie made more money. Oh, well.
All right.
It's been out a while.
Let's see if I can give you guys any hints. Stephen King.
Oh, It.
Oh, Carrie? Or not? Oh, It.
is
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
It for sure.
Spencer, you saw this war movie with your dad one time and told me about it, and you liked it but couldn't tell me anything else about it.
What, dude? What the fuck?
That's really
That is
specific.
so specific.
You have to
fucking-
get it.
I have no
Was it
idea.
was it letters from Iwo Jima?
It would have been so good if you had guessed this one right off the bat. American Sniper.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was a forgettable one.
Yeah, that,
Looking back at it, like, I don't even blame
I'm
you.
sure it was a movie.
Yeah. That happened.
Jesus movie.
Oh, The Passion of the Christ.
Fucking movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boogie
Bondage
Nights?
fucking movie.
fuck
yikes.
pile 2. The fucking.
Wow, can't believe that was in the top 18.
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh yeah.
Wow, really? That's in there? That's
Dude, there's a
unfortunate.
bunch of horny ass MILFs out there.
I guess so. Can you imagine that theater? Yikes.
I can.
Yikes.
What's the one, Avery, what's the one good impression I can do?
I
I did
don't
it on an
know.
episode.
Sylvester Stallone having an allergic reaction.
I'm not even going to try that. That's so...
You did. I know you did 2 impressions of 2 different people that sounded exactly the same on one episode.
Yeah. Spencer, have you not asked me to do an impression real quick?
Okay, do an impression.
No, give me the person.
That was pretty cryptic.
Do Obama.
All right. Oh, okay. I actually have one. It's Obama, but he's a Scientologist. Let me go clear. Thank you.
Like it. All right.
I think you need more words in there for me to get a real sense of your Obama.
All right.
I'm confused of what this impression is. This Tom Cruise?
No,
It's Tom Cruise
Obama,
doing an impression of Barack
Obama,
Obama.
but he's a Scientologist.
So
let me go
your
clear.
impression is anybody but they're a Scientologist? And you just say, let me go clear.
No, because Obama, the easy one to get into the voice is, let me be clear. So I just went, let me go clear. All right, I've given up on this
I'm
bit.
fucking confused.
It's okay.
dude. I'm just confused. Asher, I think that was a fair shot.
Give me another one, goddammit. I'll show you how.
That's
I'll
pretty
show you
good.
Such a
That's
good
a pretty good
freaking
Barack
impression.
Obama.
Give me another person.
Okay. Do
Get crazy.
get crazy. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Do fucking do Tracy Morgan, dude.
Oh,
Wait,
that's
you
a good
cut
one.
out-
He has a very distinctive way of
cut
talking
out,
too.
so-
He said Tracy
Do
Morgan.
Tracy Morgan.
Okay. Hey, this is Tracy Morgan.
Bitch. You sick son of. So is the bit? It's like an impression of you doing an impression, and it's just.
How about throwing a little beach party for yourself and letting these people to get to know you oh so better? Hey kids, it's me, your good friend Alistair, here to tell you about a wonderful movie podcast called Get Soft with Dr. Snuggles. What happens is, every 2 weeks, the love of my life, Siobhan, and I are joined by a cast of friends, family, internet weirdos, and special guests to guide you through the wild and woolly world of erotic thrillers and softcore films. Everything from alien abduction, intimate secrets, to Zarita, Passion's Avenger, and all points in between. Check it out now on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
What's that horrid man talking about?
Take my horse to that old town road.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Do we have to restart again?
No, we don't.
That'll
get
be the marking.
Yeah, that's definitely going in. So we also talk about our expectations going into this movie. Guys, I know you had some.
Sure.
I know Ash. I'm honestly, Ash. I'm most interested in what you have. What your expectations were, especially having not seen any of the other movies.
Yeah, so we're in a unique situation where each of us has seen a different quantity of these movies. Avery's seen the first and third. I believe Spencer's seen all three, and I've seen none of them except for this one.
See,
This is great.
I thought I saw the first two, but now I think I just watched the first one twice.
Well, I mean, you saw the third, so it's like the second one, from what I've gathered, you can kind of
Okay.
just extrapolate. It's like you can kind of just connect some dots. So if you see the
Lawrence
first one,
Fishburne's there now.
okay.
Like, it's
Yeah.
easy.
yeah, right. Like
This time,
Yeah.
this time he's got
kind
a
of fill in
hamster.
the blanks
and
there.
And the Russians killed the hamster.
Going into this movie, I was excited. I knew that there was an NBA star in it, and that made me the most excited. I got a gift certificate from one of my clients for a movie theater for $25. I was like, fuck yeah, that's like almost 2 movies. I go to this theater, and the movie, it's a matinee, it's noon, and it was $20. Because LA is
That's
a
such
cancer
shit.
upon
That's like
Jesus,
all
dude.
humanity.
that's like the most I've ever heard. I can't believe that your ticket was that much
Yeah,
money.
but the seat laid down like all the
Oh.
way.
Did you get
Yeah.
a
But
fucking
was
hand
it
job
worth?
too?
Was worth $20? Right? Like,
I mean, not intentionally, but there was a hole in
Like,
the table that was
thinking,
over my
like,
lap.
like of a circumstance, like I'm trying to think where I would spend $20 on a movie ticket. That's a lot of money for a movie ticket.
Easy.
And like tickets aren't expensive or aren't cheap
Check
anymore.
it out. I'm gonna pitch it to you.
You know?
I'm gonna pitch it to you. All right, you're on a massage table with one of those little face holes, right? And then like 60 feet below you, just a dead drop. There's a screen, right? And you're getting a fucking massage. There's like someone who's probably 90 pounds, 4'7" at the tallest, walking up and down your back as you're enjoying a lounge.
Is this like one of those
sounds
4D
great.
experiences?
Yeah, they
Right?
like kick
Like-
you whenever the genie does something funny. They're like, "Are you laughing?"
And they also have you on like a morphine drip, so you're just feeling really good. Yeah,
That's
there
worth
we go.
$20. Here we go.
Now you're feeling good.
I'll just take the bag. I don't need the movie.
Oh shit! I hear the cops, man.
Bam.
Oh no, they heard
Here they come. They
about
heard about it
morphine.
too.
Spencer, we don't joke about drugs
shit.
on the show.
Yeah, Asher's got priors, so so we can't be joking around with that kind of stuff. Dude, my PO's listening.
Anyway, watching this movie, the thing that got me really excited while I was waiting for the movie to start was the Hobbs and Shaw commercial.
Dude.
'Cause I've seen like the Hobbs and Shaw commercial.
I haven't seen any of these trailers.
Because they go to fucking Samoa and like do the haka.
Dude, and they all just had
And they're fighting
spears
Idris
and
Elba.
shit, dude. I was like, hey, is that...
it's like, this is
It's awesome, but is that racist? I don't know. It's like...
I think that at this point in The Rock's career, if this is the first time Samoa's really coming up, I think we're
I
okay.
guess so. Yeah. No, they still would fight with spears. That's totally true.
Yeah, it's called
Right,
tradition, Spencer, and we have a whole song about it, our people.
It's like boom boom ka, fuck your tradition, bitch.
Tradition.
Oh shit, we're thinking of two different songs.
No, that was the same song.
Oh man, I loved that commercial. It was like, and now introducing White Girl A. They're like, oh, she's like, oh, look, I can do karate too. They're like, yeah, you sure you can. Yeah,
You can.
She also has Jason Statham's voice, so I just want to clarify.
yeah, it does.
Because they're related in the movie.
Wait, what?
Did you not
No,
pick that up?
I don't think I was paying that close attention to the plot.
I'm ready for it, though.
The Rock pulls a Chris Hemsworth or Chris Evans and curls a helicopter.
Yeah,
movie.
like, okay, sure, fuck it, you know.
Already
Yeah.
been done. Don't
Just, yeah.
care.
I guess if The Rock and Jason Statham, you know what it is, that movie, you know what it is. It's the rise. It's the first rise in the trend of the bald man. Yeah, the bald man is gonna be super. Yeah, they're
they're
gonna be
both
super
bald,
hot
too, aren't
and
they?
and like sleek, hairless men are gonna be. They're gonna rule the world, but not in a weird way.
I think that's going to be the thing. You think it starts with Hobbs and
I think
Shaw?
we'll be able to trace it back to Hobbs and Shaw.
I think we already can't
Dude,
stop
when
it.
I saw the title, when the title hit the screen, I was like, wait, what?
Is this Calvin and Hobbes?
Hobbs and Shaw,
It kind of sounds like,
dude.
You know, I keep getting Hobbs and Shaw confused with that Sherlock Holmes movie that came out with Will Ferrell
Holmes
and John
and-
C. Reilly.
Yeah.
It's like Holmes
Yeah.
and Watson, but it
Yeah,
sounds like the same
that's a
title.
terrible way to name a movie.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah, well, they couldn't
Yeah,
be like
it's not very good.
the Fast and Furious movie that doesn't have Paul
Right.
Walker. That's a bad title.
yeah, but I still think it's better. It's
But
better
that's
than
what they're
Hobbs and
going
Shaw.
for. The Fast and Furious movie we could sign lead actors for. These are
Yeah.
the ones we could get. That's the
And it's Idris
subtitle.
Elba, who's like, and he's like fighting these fucking roided out fucking freaks, and you're supposed to fucking believe that he's winning.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely kill me.
Yeah.
Like, The Rock has so much testosterone that he has helped small villages in Southeast Asia like get over malnutrition.
Yeah. Dude,
Just by standing
he has so
there.
much test-
They worship him like
He
a
has
god.
so much testosterone. He's
They're
just
absorbing
like,
him.
He just is like, fuck it, I'm sucking dicks now. That's how much testosterone. He's like, I don't.
He's gone fully over the edge and
Yeah,
doubled back
exactly,
around on
dude.
himself.
Well, that's just
He's like-
flexibility training. That has nothing to do with testosterone.
Take a rib or two out too. But yeah, I think Hobbs and Shaw,
excellent.
like that sounds like a weird like German word, like Schadenfreude.
Right? It sounds like a German beer brewery that's been around since like
Yeah.
892.
Buddy
Yeah,
cop
Hobbs and
movie.
Shaw.
Right?
Oh yes, Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw, yes.
We have to find the schnitzel thief.
I will be your Scheisse Frau. That's your Splatter Frau.
Hobbs, I hate to say this, but I am feeling a little bit of Schadenfreude.
It's terrible. It's
all
terrible.
So I didn't see any of those trailers. I haven't seen this trailer yet.
see anything
I don't
good?
know why it didn't come up. No, I didn't.
the new
nothing.
It one.
I don't know what it was. I don't know. Maybe I went to the wrong theater, or I just forgot.
theater in your
It could be
town.
one of the
What
two
about the
things.
It trailer.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
That looked.
Oh, that looked great.
shit.
I haven't
You
seen
got
that
shafted.
either. What the hell?
Alamo
what
Draft
kind of theaters
House,
are you guys
like,
going to?
Is a nice theater, but they have
I
shit
actually-
trailers, bro. Come at
I
me.
actually didn't go to Alamo Draft House this
There
time.
are other
So
theaters.
that might be. Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, shit. All right. Well, regardless.
Did someone
No,
pirate it
I didn't see
and
any
it was in
real
a
good.
season? Like, what are we talking?
Yeah, did you see it in a Chinese restaurant,
So,
dude?
nah, man, going into this movie, I wanted it to. One thing that I always take away from these John Wick movies is how well lit they are. So I was just like, man, I just want to see some colorful action.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting ready for. Just colorful shit, and bullets flying, and people dying. There you go.
Boom, dude.
That's what I wanted.
You had very
I think I got it,
expectations.
Right? I would say
Yeah, Avery.
from this kind of movie, I think that
Yeah,
I'm setting myself
absolutely.
up for success, if anything else. Yeah.
Okay, what was one scene that you were expecting?
Oh man. Oh, the dog scene with all the dogs because of the poster.
There was a dog in the
Right.
poster.
There is dogs in the poster, so there's going to be a dog fighting scene
respect your
with Halle
intelligence.
Berry, who, by the way, isn't a cat anymore. She's a dog person now.
Halle Berry.
There you go. It was like
Dude,
delivered
I
on a
would- I
silver
would
platter.
drink-
Here you are.
I would take a shot of her.
Okay. Bleep him.
I would take a shot of her sweat every morning. And yeah, that's it. Just like a shot to the dome. Just-
Wow.
I'm gonna eat popcorn while you continue.
but only if it was like ass crack sweat. You know.
All right. It's been great having you on.
So guys, what are some good things that we can discuss regarding this movie? Because there's a lot of good to talk about here. I think, personally.
Well, let's you know,
it's got some
let's
very,
talk about
very
how
strong
John Wick,
points.
you know, successfully beat up all of the different races.
Covered everything. No stone
Actually,
unturned.
I don't think he
did it.
didn't beat up any black people. So
No, and no Irish people,
that's-
unfortunately. We're
that's not a race,
strong
dude.
anti-Irish.
They're saving that for the
Yeah,
sequel.
they're gonna get into a fight in a pub, and it's gonna be with all like shattered pint glasses and shit.
They got that. Oh my god! That,
Right?
Actually, I can picture it, and I
Yeah.
kind of wish that was in this
I kind
one.
of want
but
like a
I can
four-way,
wait.
like Welsh,
Yeah.
Scottish, Irish, and English.
Yeah, I want like a
turf war.
bagpipe fight.
That he's caught in the middle of because everybody wants to
Right.
kill John Wick in this
Imagine
movie,
John
right?
Wick fighting in the middle of Scottish games, of the Highland games. Like he's dodging like the giant fucking log, and like someone throws a haggis at him.
This is all completely
Yeah,
like I
that's
could
great.
visualize all of it. Like John Wick was like going to his grandma's house and his grandma wanted
Mm-hmm.
to kill him. John Wick was going to like I don't know. He was like going to the post office and the mailman wanted to kill him. Everybody
catch a
wanted to kill
break.
him in this movie.
Not at all.
It was nonstop. He couldn't.
And
not for a half a second.
He was like Tom
As soon as he
Cruise.
started
He was
to relax.
running the
And
whole
like
damn
I was
movie.
appreciating how they were like, you know what, we're gonna give you some sort of like kind of a plot, like with this high table shit. But I was like, wait, what? The high table? And it's like
It was a
he
little
was like,
convoluted.
yeah, you know, they're a place, they're a shady organization, and they run a series of hotels, and
with like weird, like they use like pieces of 8 and
Yeah. It seemed like a almost like suspiciously infinitely reaching organization that like just kind of was able to alter
Yeah.
the rules of the
yeah,
script.
it was a
in
metaphor
order to
for
be there
American
all the time.
imperialism.
Oh,
Maybe I don't want to try. And make that
yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it was something. It was definitely just your classic shady Illuminati kind of situation, you know.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Illuminati's great. And it has all this like semi-unexplained like pieces of currency. See, I just thought that was something that they explained in the sequel, but I could be wrong. So I was just like, well, I'll roll with it. He's got all this currency
Wait, can
and
we
he trades it
talk-
for favors. It's
Yeah.
like, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, that was
you know,
pretty
so
convenient.
it's and this movie does a really, really good job of being like existing in its own world and really doesn't need any explanation because all of the like background story stuff is almost kind of boring anyway. You're kind of just waiting for the next well choreographed action scene.
It's a nice little, like, it's
just
a
like-
breather. Like you want it for
Yeah.
a couple minutes, but
Breath
then
of
you're
air.
like, all right, like have a horse
Yeah.
kick a dude
Yeah.
in the head, and the noise is way too
Yeah.
loud. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and then you cut to a scene of Winona Ryder 2 explaining something to some people. She looked, the girl with the short hair.
that
She looked
looks
like Winona Ryder.
It
a
looks
little bit.
exactly like my friend's ex-girlfriend. It was really creepy. When
Whoa.
We were like, "What the fuck, dude?"
That could just be her. Like,
No,
are
I'm
we
not
sure that's
sure.
not just her?
Asia Kate
Oh,
Dillon
is that her name?
from Orange is the New Black. Billions.
Her name's Asia.
Really? Oh.
Are you sure she doesn't do porn?
I had never seen that actress in anything else. It seemed like they put a lot of focus on her too. So I was like,
Yeah.
is this a name?
Yeah, she doesn't
like,
fight
is she
anyone.
somebody I don't know?
She's gonna fight someone.
She
in the
doesn't fight a
next
single
one,
time.
You know.
Yeah, for sure. I was expecting like the threequel, like, end of movie wrap up. And if we're gonna spoil things, I don't think we ever really give warnings because I think we spoil everything on this show.
Fucking hate our
fuck
listeners.
you.
Yes.
For listening.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
it's
Spencer,
getting
you-
worse and
you haven't
worse. We're
earned
liking
that.
you less and less. But yeah, she doesn't fight anybody, and this movie sets itself up for a fourquel, which actually has already been confirmed. So that's definitely happening. This is going to be one of those series that I think just kind of goes on forever, which I'm kind of
Can
okay
we
with.
talk
I don't know.
about how they just like phoned
Yeah.
in? They just slapped in that intro sequence. You remember that?
Oh, dude, it was so bad.
Wait,
Yeah, it was just like
Yeah.
John Wick 3, like the
Yeah, it was
fucking
like some
Parabellum
coin.
and shit, and then
Yeah.
it was like it went right into
Yeah.
it. It was so lame.
but it was
That
like
was so
it was so
weird.
weird, but it was like also kind of like fitting, just because they're like, we know you don't give a shit. We're getting right to John Wick, like
you get-
running from
Yeah.
something.
Like they dropped it right in. They didn't have an opening scene. They didn't do any of that. You know what it reminded me of? Did you guys see the most recent Mission Impossible movie?
No.
This is another comparison level, but very similar in that way because it had the cheesiest opener with like just like horrible like scenes from the movie like fading in. Like it was so bad. It looked like something from
They
the
try to
early
do like a
90s. It was
James
terrible.
Bond sort of.
And that's
a
what
thing,
this reminded
like
me of. That.
the classic James Bond's.
Yeah, I think so too.
intros, and it's just like no.
There's like a Bond vacuum right now.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. Like Casino Royale was great, and then the other two were not great. Especially
They were okay.
Especially Quantum of Solace, which is hot garbage.
It was pretty bad. And then the third one, what was it called? It was called Skyrim or some shit.
Oh yeah.
That one was pretty okay. And like I feel like that one was like better executed than Quantum of Solace and kind of took me by surprise. But then there was another one that came out
Wait,
just recently
really?
that was
There
like
was?
yikes.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago, something
Avery,
like that.
That's
What was it
that's
called?
A fever dream you had. There's no,
my God.
There's no way that really
I
happened.
got what it's called like Spectrum or something.
Spectre.
Oh, you're
Spectrum
right,
Internet.
dude.
Spectre.
Yeah.
Oh, Spectre. Yeah.
Like how you picked like the least word.
Yeah, Spectrum, and he fights a horde of autistic. And never mind. I'm not going to finish that.
Jesus.
No, that's no.
Oh man. Can we also talk?
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, yikes.
Can we also talk about how
some-
the Japanese guys were like sushi chefs, and they were awesome.
They
but
were
it was like-
awesome.
Okay,
Right?
number one.
They were like my favorite part of this
I thought
movie.
that, like this movie's like all references to how these people don't have fucking careers anymore.
And also references to the Matrix.
Yeah,
I don't know if
that-
you guys
that's
noticed.
what I was-
because Lawrence Fishburne being in this movie is literally just a reference
Well, I mean,
to the Matrix.
Mark Dacascos was the guy who was the lead, like the
Yeah.
bald guy, and he was the Iron Chef. He was the
I
chancellor,
thought
the guy
I
who ate the bell
recognized
pepper.
him.
What?
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Dude,
he was
I
cool
liked
too.
him.
He was like one of my favorite
I
parts of this
liked
movie.
Dude,
Yeah,
okay.
he was like awesome.
I half liked him. So here's my thing. His whole weird tete-a-tete with John Wick and like his weird, like they developed it like in the last 20 minutes
Yeah.
of the movie. It would have been really awesome if he had it the whole time.
I don't care. In a movie that like kind of lets the plot take a backseat and front loads the well choreographed action, fine with me. That's all the characterization I needed for me to enjoy
Just
that character.
couple throwaway
know?
lines here and there, because like the first half he's like, "I'm a badass," and then the next half's like, "Oh my god, it's John
Yeah.
Wick."
I thought that was fucking awesome. It's like that like cut of levity, just like especially when like given the scenery and the context, like they're in a neutral zone, like that totally just added another layer to it, and it made like this movie even more meta than it already is, which I always
Yeah.
kind of really enjoy. So I was definitely into that.
Good. It was a good twist. A little.
Another bald.
Yeah,
bad guy.
what's up with that? Hobbs and Shaw are gonna change that.
We all know that there's going to be a resurgence of the bald man. We've already discussed this.
I just really hate to see bald on bald crime in our films.
Yeah, but bald on bald love is.
just some sensual head rubbing.
Oh boy, I make myself uncomfortable sometimes.
It's one of the deleted scenes.
But yeah, so but okay, what was oh yeah, there was some parts in it, and I think this was actually during when they were starting to like give Keanu some lines towards the end of the movie, which was a mistake. But it was funny because he was just like, he just doesn't give a shit, man. They doesn't. Yeah, they would set him up for these like, okay, you can at least say something like halfway witty, like you're not gonna meet me at the top, Keanu, or whatever, John Wick, and he's like, yeah,
and he was like.
and that was it. Yeah,
but that's like his thing. I feel like that's like Keanu's shtick at this point. Like he doesn't act, but what is so cool about Keanu, and the reason that I really appreciate him being in this movie, is just like guy does his own stunts. It's just like everything about that guy. He's like a goddamn national treasure. Like
absolutely,
it's just like heartwarming seeing him in like this kind of role after years of not being in like his own like franchise that he could own. You know what I mean? And seeing him in this, it's just like, cool, man. Like you made it. Like,
no,
this
don't
is your
get me
thing
wrong.
now,
I'm not hating on Keanu. I'm loving how he is just owning he's kind of like a weird. He's like a Zen monk type of a character, which I think he's.
Yeah, he like doesn't wear closed-toed shoes and like does nice things for old people
like, what
or
a
whatever.
Fucking weirdo,
Yeah. Also a deleted scene.
Yeah.
Just helping, like, gets off his motorcycle to help a lady cross the street, and the ninjas watch.
What do you guys think was the coolest kill in the movie? Yeah,
the knife fight scene.
I thought the book. I thought the book
with the throwing
very
knives.
First one.
Oh, like
damn! He killed him with a book.
That was such a good opener.
Yeah,
that was fucking cool. Knowledge is power. I'm just gonna say.
Yo, books, kids. Actually, we are a very anti-book.
Books
podcast.
are cool, dude.
We actually are. Read. You actually could.
I like pictures.
Great. Welcome to the show.
Pay me to learn how to read. And I'm fine.
That was the guy who got killed with the book was an NBA center and has the largest hands.
I wondered
in the world
what his deal was. I'm like, is this dude CGI?
Yeah, he was huge.
He's 7'2", and the world record for largest hands.
Jesus, dude.
And he's a fucking freak.
Excellent.
And they just brought him in because they're like, you're in LA.
That was upsetting, man. It was,
but it was good. Like, and the kill was good. Everything looked awesome. It's another good example because I don't know. Throughout this movie, I noticed it like very infrequent but tastefully used CGI. You guys know what I'm talking about here? Like there were sequences that had CGI in them. But it wasn't so distracting from the film that it was. Halle Berry was more distracting from the film than the CGI was.
Yeah,
in
she
this
looked
movie,
like a video game rendering of Halle Berry.
Yeah.
She looked absurd. Like
she's like
just totally out of place.
Something.
It's very hard to take her seriously. Yeah.
That's like my perfect age.
I will say, I know that you probably didn't like it, but I really liked all the dog stunts. They were fucking tight.
Yeah, they were sweet, dude. I was wondering how much of that was CGI.
I thought that they were pretty cool too.
Like, especially that one where it like runs up and jumps
and grabs
the wall.
Nuts,
Halle Berry's back up the wall.
Yeah, that's the most obvious one. There's probably a couple other scenes. I don't know.
I kind of just wanted to believe that it was real Avery, and I really need you to stop.
It's
just let him live in his comfy little world.
But the canine techniques were really sweet, where they were just grabbing the arms and just pulling people down because like they trained.
Yeah, a lot of. See, I went into this movie thinking also that the dogs thing, like that whole dog fighting Halle Berry thing, was going to be a more important part to the movie. But she's in the movie for like 6 minutes and then not in the movie anymore.
Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, granted, not having. I really didn't, but from like a writing perspective, that seemed like an odd choice. It was like what, like I don't know. having somebody come in just to be like, you owe me, bitch, and then like leave is like just so bizarre and like
by that
completely
logic,
forget it.
They just needed variation. Like they needed the horse to kick someone in the face. They needed the dogs with like another gunman, and then they needed the hotel scene where he's just like, I need more guns.
Like, hey, that's from the Matrix.
Guns, lots of guns. Yeah. Yeah, if there's one thing that this movie did really well, it was the escalation of the action scenes, and it was the variation of that escalation. Like they were constantly, no action scene was the same, and all of them were equally well choreographed and well done, which was a lot of fun, except for all of the henchmen being pretty much disposable. Best video game I ever played, John Wick 3, Parabellum.
10 out of 10.
Gonna say.
Perfect.
10 out of 10.
Get it on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I would play that in a
PS4 game I've
heartbeat.
ever played, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too, right? Like this totally could have been a video
Asher,
game.
are
It had
you
the same
eating?
plot. They could have
Asher,
rendered
are you
Keanu
eating
in.
right now?
What? I'm just enjoying the conversation.
Wait, what kind of dog and pony show has crunching on it?
Listen, Avery keeps me in a small cage for majority of the week.
Sounds like you should go back to that cage. Sounds like you need to be spending.
Well, I have to right after this episode.
I feel like you guys can get some sort of boom mic situation set up so where you can record from inside the cage where you belong.
I was actually hoping we could get a super cardioid mic so we could get audio of Asher chewing even louder.
I mean, like, we don't have to do that.
No, that. God damn it, dude!
This
is heinous. This is heinous. This is a crime against podcast listeners. That's what that is.
All right, I'm done. I finished the popcorn.
Good for you.
So, all right. So I think that's a good break since we're talking about cons, not only of the podcast, but
Avery always the killer segues.
of John Wick 3. What didn't we like about this movie? I have scant cons about this movie. I actually really enjoyed it, even though I know action movies aren't really my thing. But I'm having a difficult time digging up reasons to dislike this movie. So I kind of want you guys to start so I can build off of it. Anyway, Spencer, you're first.
Okay, well, man, it's hard because I think I went in with well-managed expectations, which I think is always the key to enjoying a film, whether or not it's technically good or bad. It's just like, I'm just gonna go in and have a good old time. And so I didn't really find a lot that was bad about it, but
am on the same
but
page.
the thing is, I did after a while, like all of the punching sounds and gunshot sounds started to turn into like a general white noise that almost like did kind of make me a little sleepy towards the end. Like once
try
a little nausea
down.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't have survived if I was full laying down. Like, let's just say that. Like, I was.
Yeah,
I'd say it's about 90%. You're just barely up.
Can you imagine, dude? No, he had 80 clips, right? And he was just dragging and dropping. That was that guy's job.
Dude.
He probably made like $1 million just to drag and drop punch sound effect 54.
God.
I mean, imagine the Foley artist. He spent like 20 minutes making all the sound effects for this movie.
Yeah, he was using like a bag of potato chips or something like that. or just a sample
Or a bowl of popcorn.
of you guys' podcast. It's fun fact.
I actually, back in the day, I did an old Foley artist trick where I was like pretending like I wasn't really into it and I needed to stretch mid podcast, and then I broke celery into the mic and started screaming like I broke my leg.
Oh,
That actually sounded incredible.
I remember listening to that
was really
episode
good.
and being like, "What the fuck, dude? What the fuck happened?"
It sounded really good because the celery sounds like a
it
breaking
sounded
bone.
like
It's
you got
incredible.
just straight up
Foley artist
like
trick.
murdered by a ninja or something, like just immediately. Man.
Yeah, we gotta try that again.
But
anyway,
cons, I don't know. Like I just I thought that towards the end, it was clear that, like, you know, it was going to be hard to keep ramping up the crazy fights. And, like, they were trying to get, like, some famous martial artists in there towards the end, if from what I understand. And that was supposed to kind of carry it into a new realm of interest, you know? But as someone who's not, like, an MMA dude or whatever, it's like that kind of went over my head. And I was just like...
Yeah, don't look at his affliction shirt.
Hey... I don't actually. I just like the designs, dude.
It's my friends, dude.
I just wear. I just wear it because I like the cool flames and stuff. But yeah, so I don't know. Towards the end, I was just like, oh, okay, and I think they kind of got that, and then they're like, all right, no, yeah, he survives, and yeah, he falls off a building, but you know, yeah, fuck it.
Somehow
He's not gonna die.
He's not gonna die. Like, he can't die. He falls. No, a CGI model of Keanu
No, dude,
Reeves.
that was a
falls
real
off.
stunt, dude. That was a real
Fine.
stunt. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
You know, he just wore a helmet, dude.
The comical scene where he falls off, he hits like an outcrop, then he hits like a fire escape, then he hits like a bag of potatoes, and then like a
song starts playing.
Yeah, and, like,
he just breaks
falling
the fall
forever
with his face on the concrete. That would have just splattered anybody. Yeah.
He's fine.
He's
dude.
fine.
He's fine. He's John Wick.
But
He has
that's
a
what I
bulletproof
like.
suit.
Would you have respected
Okay.
it more if it ended with him just fucking
Just
dying?
splattering on the pavement.
Oh my, right? Just making it all the way to the very end,
Dude,
and
that
then
would've been
he's just
incredible.
murdered.
Then just like a
Wouldn't
guy.
that have, like, that would have been
incredible.
so shocking?
Yeah.
But then they couldn't have made a 4 and a 5 and a
Right.
6 and a 7 and an 8.
I mean,
and then a 9
Endgame
and a 10.
happened. They kind of did
That's
that at the
right.
end of that movie.
It's like John Wick in cyberspace. We've uploaded his consciousness to the cloud.
Oh my god, it's just gonna keep going forever.
then
It's gonna be
Lawrence
John Wick
Fishburne.
in hell.
Then it's just the Matrix again. Like, it all comes full circle.
And
Oh my God,
Lawrence
it's gonna-
Fishburne got cut the fuck up, dude. Like, I mean,
Yeah, he was
I
murdered
like how
and
they
then
just,
came back
like-
to life.
Like, it was an R-rated movie, but they were still like, yeah, let's do this scene and like have the camera 50 feet away from him, so you can't actually see anything.
See him die. Exactly. Well, they neglected to show the part where he straps ketchup packets to his neck.
Yeah.
So you could get that effect of the blood. Yeah, exactly. That was all part of the thing. If you watch the deleted scenes of the director's
classic.
cut, you guys will understand.
trick of the trick.
So I have kind of a nitpicky con. When the hotel's being invaded, it's like, okay, so he knows that the High Table are like on some real shit, right? And he knows that they're attacking the hotel. So him and the Haitian man from Heroes, that's the name of the character. His name's the Haitian man in Heroes.
I thought he was from Lost.
What?
Yeah. No, he might be from both. His real name is Lance Reddick. But
That
I was
sounds
sure
like
from
a
The
video game
Wire.
character.
And I
gonna
think he's from
Google
The
this guy.
Wire
That's-
and like Oz.
I think he's in Oz.
Lance.
Oh, he was in The Wire and
Oh
Lost.
shit, dude.
Okay. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he was badass in this
he
movie.
was
I like this
badass,
guy.
but then he like gives like bullet exposition for like
Oh,
3
yeah.
minutes, and then
yeah, that was too much.
somehow
That was for all the people who go watch this movie who
Yeah.
are like really into guns.
And if they
that,
were
like,
really
just
into
real
guns,
quick.
they would have noticed that Keanu's elbow wasn't tucked on some shots. But
Also, they would have noticed that nobody ever runs out of ammunition.
Yeah,
Like,
I
everybody
was
has infinite
counting.
bullets,
I was counting, and it
It's
was like
ridiculous.
really random amounts.
They were like shooting shotguns just like
Yeah.
willy nilly. It was insane.
But
You're
the
like,
issue-
fun, but insane.
The issue I had was they had this army coming in, and they're like, "Let's strap up with a couple of pistolas, my guy."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, it didn't work against them, and we needed bigger guns."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course.
I did like the notion. It was like when you get to a higher level or like the last level in a video game and they have higher armor and you have to shoot them a whole bunch with the pistol. Yeah. Again, John Wick, best video game I've ever played.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much fun. There was like even a first person shooter shot, I think, during this scene. It was so great. I don't know. I thought that shit was like fast paced and fun.
It's like one of those movies
So-
where the second you start like thinking about it, it's like gonna fall apart, you know. So it's like you just
Oh, yeah,
don't
totally.
think, just don't
Fury
think
Road.
about it too hard. And
It was a lot like Fury Road.
wait, what's Fury
Actually,
Road again?
You compared that to me earlier.
The new Mad Max.
The newest Mad Max.
And what's her face?
It had very similar pacing, not as good character development, not necessarily for Mad Max. Everybody knows his character's kind of a background, he's supposed to be the eyes you're watching the movie through, but all the tertiary characters. But similar fast-paced action with the long shots
And
the longer takes.
The action just kind of runs together. It almost seems like the action is one line, and then like the plot is another line that's like very short by comparison.
Yeah, that's actually kind of a con for me. It was like almost like the exposition sequences almost felt like a different movie. Like it was really like kind of far removed because it was these like static shots that looked really out of place in comparison to the like much more smooth and fluid camera movements of the action scenes that looked really, really great. So
Yeah, I would agree. It definitely felt like two movies.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was weird.
But that's such a nitpicky con. I mean, like for the most part, this movie's just really well executed. It's just
fun.
like a ton of fun.
It's a fun old time. You really get
like my heart was beating through some of the especially that knife fight scene in the hallway.
that was high octane.
It was fucking
shit.
awesome. It's
And,
just so
and like when it went into an eye,
it just
dude,
kept going.
the part where you get the knife in the eye,
Oh my
I was like, when are they going to cut? When are they going to cut?
What a good transition.
Oh, and they don't.
I know.
They
Right?
just straight.
I was like, oh my god, they're gonna cut, and it keeps going. It's like,
It's
wow,
my least
this
favorite
movie's
thing is the
any eye gore.
getting
Any
punctured
eye
shut.
gore is really fucked.
It's just not okay.
It's messed
Honestly,
up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm pretty
It's an assault,
it should-
and I am so
They
glad
did.
they took that risk because I thought
I was
that
like,
was
oh
fucking
shit,
awesome.
they're not fucking around at all with this movie. I don't know what to expect now with these fight scenes. And then I'm gonna yeah.
I really
Then
exactly
you
right.
kinda
It almost
did.
like elevated the stakes. It's just like we're getting to the point where there's
Yeah.
eye gore. You know, like man, shit's gonna get kind of fucking real here. You know, who knows? Our hero might be in trouble now. You know, so really elevated those stakes, which I thought was fun. Well, John Wick's pretty much invincible, even though he gets stabbed at the beginning of the movie and has to get stitches one time.
He got stabbed a few times, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he got stabbed a lot. He gets stabbed at one point, like pulls the dagger out of his arm and then stabs somebody
I
else. with it.
appreciated that, It's like at least
Fucking
he
cool,
can
man.
be like hurt, There's some times where they just get their clothes ripped or whatever,
Yeah, and they're like,
I don't know.
I had to
he
use
yeah.
10% of my power. And it's just
You
like,
made
"Ah,
me
man, come on."
use 10% of my power.
What?
Exactly. It's just like invincible heroes are fun. Are fun for
Yeah.
like cartoony movies.
Avery,
The
can
Avengers are great for invincible
Can you
heroes.
please just give me a little anime guy back?
A little.
You mean like you're fun.
I guess I'm gonna have to start trying.
What are you guys doing right now?
We're doing like one-liners
You know, in
from
an anime
anime
sequence
characters,
with-
like when they're fighting.
Oh,
Can you,
okay.
like when they go like,
You maybe use 10% of my power.
You thought you could defeat me? That was mine.
Exactly. It's just like it's all bad shit.
it was just a test.
Or what about
That was my first kiss.
or what about the classic one where they just sit like kind of stuttering for no reason, like
That's such a Dragon Ball Z thing. And then Piccolo's like, ugh.
just breathing really hard. Yeah, it's
Listen, I may love you, but today you are my enemy.
oh, that's perfect.
Just what I expected.
I haven't sweat in years.
Wait, what? I think you have a
right,
gland
these are all
problem. you,
Not when I drink water, dude. Come on.
you have a glandular.
So I mean, like, guys, I think that about sums it up. At least on my end, I mean, I can't think of any other negatives to this movie. Maybe that, like, okay, so I want to say this because I want to be the asshole here who says it. There was some definite dog owner pandering here. Not that that's a bad thing, but like, I saw it, and then Ash and I were actually talking about this a little bit before Spence, you got into the chat, but. It could also be that I'm conflating Halle Berry's bad acting with the dog pandering, turning it into one bad thing when it doesn't necessarily need to be.
Cause she a dog.
Whoa, dude! How
Yikes.
dare you? How dare you?
Wow. That's also
Sick.
a con to this movie.
I thought Halle Berry delivered a riveting
joke.
performance, and that
Spencer,
she brought
whatever.
Spencer.
I see her only as Catwoman. She only just
she
is
brought
Catwoman
in
still.
the anger that only a 55-year-old woman could bring to a role like that. You know.
How old is she? She's not
Dog.
55.
Avery, just be nice to Spencer. He thinks she's good because of the accident.
Dude, she's not
She is
55.
fucking 5, something like that. Look it up.
Oh my God,
Dude,
she's
okay, I was
52.
close, right? She's 52.
You were really close.
I mean,
wow, she doesn't look like she's 55.
what
Opinion
I'm
completely
saying,
changed.
Price is Right
All right?
rules.
Halle
Spencer.
Berry is
That's
a
what
pro
I'm
to
saying,
this
dude.
movie. Damn,
That's
she
what
looks
I'm
good
saying,
for 52.
dude. She looks incredible.
Yeah.
And, you know, she brought some of that, I thought she brought some nice rage. I believed her rage. And I was like, and I thought that this movie was just like, you know, it seemed out of place, her acting in this movie. I'll grant you that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
it
it
seemed
did.
out of place. But it was like, well, yeah, because you're acting with the, you know, human, mirror that is Keanu Reeves or whatever you want to call him. Like,
He kind of acts like
Yeah.
Play-Doh. Like I feel
Yeah,
like
he's like-
He's just, he's very kind of lumpy.
yeah, he's
What was the thing I said earlier? He always looks like he's like been on Molly for 36 hours with a little bit of
He's
blood.
just kind of sweaty. Yeah, he's got a little bit of coke bloat. Man, it's just like, I know Keanu's not a good actor. Like, I get it. But it's just, I just
Yeah.
love that guy.
Yeah, like, we should
I
say,
see him and I'm like, I'm so happy for you, man. Like I don't know what it is.
Objectively, like his
warms my
delivery
heart.
of every line was awful, but like it was really enjoyable.
That's why he had 6 lines in the whole movie.
Like, I'm pissed off.
He's like,
What was it?
yeah,
we're not.
And why did they
that's
have to
it.
brand him twice in the movie? Like, why was
Who cares? He's John fucking Wick. Who gives a fuck?
They did, didn't they? I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
they branded him twice. It's like, look, have you already run out of stuff?
Man, he's so badass.
wait.
I don't even give a shit. Like, you know.
When did I miss that? Was I in the? He
They
got branded
when
the
he
second
got his
time.
finger
I
cut
must have
off,
missed that.
They seared the
Yeah, they
wound.
branded it the
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Just,
see.
you
Yeah. Okay. I would consider that a
Ooh.
cauterization.
Interesting.
I wouldn't
That's
consider that a
true.
second branding. I guess you could call that a brand. I don't know. I feel like there's a distinction
It was
between.
some
This is
hot
really
metal
splitting
play.
hairs, obviously, but I mean. Yeah,
don't know.
some hot metal play.
Yeah.
Okay, it all falls under that umbrella. We can leave it at that as a con. That's fine. File that in the cons
Yeah.
section.
Too much hot metal play for my taste.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, guys. I really want to get into our final segment of the show here.
Avery is
Not
2
that I-
hours ahead of us, Spencer.
Oh shit, dude.
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay because I wanted to be here. I wanted to talk about a good movie. It was great having you on the
thanks,
show,
man.
obviously,
Thanks for
Spencer.
having me.
It's been a great. Yeah, of course.
God, just
As you know,
kiss
that's a new segment.
It's a new segment called Hot.
Anyway,
Kissing corner.
It's called Twink.
So Spencer, as you know, we like to finish off the show with a little bit of a brief like summation of the movie that we saw and your impression of it. We give it a rating out of 10, and we also apply 5 words that we feel like describes this film most accurately or not accurately at all. Actually, doesn't even need to be 5 words apparently anymore. So just hit us with words. Just do it. Just give us a sentence, I guess.
Well,
at this point.
I did come up with a string of 5 words that stood out to me the most. It would be greasy,
All right.
sushi, Halle, knife play.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, can you say that like
It's better than
Greasy, greasy sushi, Halle, knife play. Oh, we both started snapping. Wow, we're so fucking lame, dude.
Wow. Wow. Beautiful.
Dude, I'm getting late
Thank you.
right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Thank you, Spencer, for that excellent performance. Thank you.
And as far as an out of 10, you know, I give it a solid 7.8. Yeah,
Nice.
like almost
nice.
an 8. Yeah.
I agree completely. Yeah, that's 7.8. You're really
mathematically
it's fine.
correct. It is almost 8.
Yeah.
That's like super close to being an 8.
Totally fair.
So, you know, and it's honestly not a 7.
That's about 80% of the way between 7 and 8.
Yeah,
Just there.
I mean, that's a little
there.
complicated for me to understand.
Spencer's standing in front of a whiteboard with just like hours of math equations.
You know that meme where it's like the lady's face and it's just like all the math equation? He's just like 7.8.
I don't know if I know that.
They're whizzing by his face. Yeah, excellent. Totally. How do you feel? Would you recommend this
absolutely.
movie, Spencer?
I would recommend it to pretty much any. I know this is maybe kind of sexist, but like any dude, I feel like, and yeah,
Bro.
it's a kind.
It's a dude movie.
It's a bit of a dude movie, and I mean, I think girls would like it. Like I think my girlfriend would like it, but.
Yeah, my girlfriend really liked it. She saw it today and she was like, fuck, hell yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, so.
It's one of those movies that only if you have external genitals can you really
that's really
like,
the only
feel it. Because the
Understand, I think, is the word you're going for here.
I just think, you know, there's not a lot in the way of like, you know, like shitty emotion. You know, so it's like I don't think women are gonna dig it that much, you know what I mean?
I just don't, you know, I was thinking about this movie and I was thinking about women and I was like, I don't think
they're just like I just think they're too
finer
like, stupid
points.
in general.
Your Honor, I don't know why I'm speaking to a judge. I didn't say anything in this conversation. I frankly am asking for a mistrial.
No, Asher told me to say that. I was just reading off a quote.
I actually sent him a manifesto about it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I just know like my mom would fucking hate this movie, you know.
Oh yeah, my mom too.
Fair enough. My mom probably would.
Sure,
Actually, my
there's
mom
some
might
moms
like
out
it a
there
lot.
that would like
get
it.
it.
My mom likes some cool action movies. Yeah, my mom liked The Matrix a lot, so I think
Cool.
she would probably like this too. They kind of go hand in hand. There's like, I think you guys know what I mean.
Yeah, I think I see the connection
But,
between the two.
Yeah.
There's something
a
something
link
about
there.
the two that
It's-
I think
it's
are
slight.
similar.
There's just something I can't. It's an ineffable
It's hard
quality.
to
I
put
just
your
can't
finger
put
on,
it together.
but it's there.
Yeah, but
It's the green.
there you go.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, you're right. It's the green. No, really, I was gonna say it's the
Tight leather.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say it's like the buildings.
Also that.
Yeah, the buildings.
Yeah.
For sure.
Actually, the buildings
I don't
too.
know.
Yeah. This all takes place in a very oppressive seeming city.
Yeah.
Like the Matrix does at times. I think that's a good observation. I like that. All
sure.
jokes aside.
Cool. Sometimes I surprise myself.
Hell
you
yeah.
know.
Hell yeah. Asher.
Yeah.
So I can continue to think about my 5 words. What are 5 words that you have regarding John Wick Part 3? The what is it? Part 3.
Portobello.
Portobello. Poblano.
Papa
What
Piss
is it?
plucked plenty of.
No. Not Papa Piss.
And John Wick Part 3.
My dreams.
The partitioned hard drive. What do you think?
Y'all are gonna feel like a bunch of idiots when you hear my 5 words. Check it
Oh
out.
Christ.
Whoa, I know kung fu.
Oh shit.
Oh no!
Wait, let me count really quick. Whoa, I know kung.
Well,
Dude, kung
I
fu
know
is one
kung
word,
fu.
you bitch.
I mean, knife play could be
No.
one word.
Hyphenated words can be stretched. Again, I said these are very nebulous rules.
My co-host from IDTU just looked over at me and just shook his head and was like, "No, it's 2 words." He was just
Yes!
supposed to sell me down the river like that.
Chalk one up, dude.
I mean, I listen to your show. Craig frequently
Yeah, he sends me down the river all the time.
This movie was super fun. It was a lot of action, and you'd think he'd be exhausted by the end, but I found that it struck a really great balance between serious and not so serious. And I thought the world building was good in like a sense that I had no idea what was going on, but I'm like, this is world building. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of
Nice.
10.
That's like
Bam.
more than 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's also more than 7.8.
but less than 9.
I'll send you the proof.
Okay, I'm waiting.
Wow. So John Wick 3, the Portobello, the Popolano. I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah. My 5 words for this movie, I'm going to stretch something here, but my 5 words are guns, a lot of guns. All right, close,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Anybody? No. It's close enough. I'm going to take it. This movie was so much fun, fast-paced. It almost never let up, almost to a fault, but then it gives you a breath of fresh air. It also has some comic levity, more so towards the end, but enough so that it like pulls you back for a brief moment and lets you like kind of like see at this from a more like outsider looking in perspective. I don't know, everything that they did right. It was good. I like this movie a lot. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10 as well, because this movie nailed pretty much all of my expectations. I wasn't disappointed at all. I'm glad that I got a free screening to this movie because it was really good.
what? Rub it in, man. Damn.
Yeah, why don't you go play hide and go fuck yourself, Avery?
I would have paid to see this movie. How about that? Yeah, it was fun.
I would have paid.
Wouldn't take it that far.
Would have paid had I been in such a low position to do so.
Such a yikes situation.
Commoner.
But no, I received a free ticket. Well,
So
I
yeah,
agree with
great
the
movie.
assessment.
Go see it.
Yeah.
Highly recommend
Fuck
it.
yeah.
Seriously, a lot of fun.
Dab.
It's gonna be. You've probably already seen it, right?
Dab again.
Yeah.
Did you dab? Like the
I did.
Oh
3
no,
times.
dude, that's terrible.
Dude.
I know. I do it for bad luck.
Okay, well it's
Oh,
certainly working.
This is crashing fast down.
Guys, I'm not doing
Yeah, I mean the way.
Well, Spencer, before we get out of here, Ash and I we like to put all of our social media stuff. We're at For the Story at Pod.
Oh,
Pod.
God.
What are we? Ash, just say it. Just do the thing.
All right. For the Story Podcast on Instagram, For the Story on Facebook, For the Story Podcast at gmail.com on email. Our address is at Avery. What's your address?
Are you trying to dox Avery right now, dude?
Yeah, I heard he threw a milkshake at a guy. Spencer, what about
Spencer, what's your address?
Greg, what's your address?
Is Craig like our unofficial guest on this episode? Because that's
He is,
excellent.
yeah.
Craig's a voyeur. He's covered in grease right now.
Yeah, he just said, fuck you.
Wait, can you hear us?
He can put on headphones if he wants.
Oh, God.
Oh, so he can hear us technically, but he
Well,
hasn't heard us.
yeah.
He can.
Is that what
he
you mean
can
by that?
now, but
Like
he
the-
was editing other stuff for most of the time.
No,
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, anyway, Spencer, is there anything you want to plug before we get totally out of here?
Yeah,
I mean, it's the end of the
check
episode.
out Idiots
Let's hear
Discuss the Universe. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. You can just Google Idiots Discuss the Universe, and we will be the thing that pops up. We got all sorts of shit out. We were releasing episodes all the time at a breakneck speed. Some would say like a kind of manic, insane sort of speed. But no, it's good. We've got a shit ton of content.
Yeah. And by the way, stop putting out like 10-minute cock tease episodes, you absolute
What?
dullard.
No, we're gonna keep doing we're gonna keep putting out exactly what we want. You trite, insalubrious boob.
God, you guys are like the same person. I can like hear it and like
Yeah,
the way
no,
you say things and like your
We've spent
delivery of
way
jokes.
too much time together in the past.
I could tell. It was funny. Like I noticed it the first time I met you, Spencer. I was just like, God damn, he's exactly
Oh,
like Asher.
Jesus Christ, dude! I
It
didn't.
was like it's 2 of you guys.
He's like the less handsome, less funny, generally less charming.
No, I'm like a more palatable, like less. I'm like
God, it's the same joke.
Asher is like a like more Jewish in a bad
Keep describing
way.
each other.
More Jewish in a bad way. And I can say that because I have it
Because he's
because
you have a friend who's Jewish.
and it's Asher. But yeah, so
All right, listen to Idiots Discuss the Universe. They have a friend who's Jewish.
Who's also on our show.
it's not anti-Semitism if you're also
That's Greg, isn't it? I hear him.
Just absolutely howling.
It's not anti-Semitism if you have a friend who's Jewish, who's a shitty guy. No, it's good. It's good.
Wow.
If you want to listen to a podcast that has like the Whole Foods version of Asher, like your farm grass fed,
you mean
like all American
farm to table
version of Asher instead of this like fast food sort of like it fills you up for now, but you're gonna be having diarrhea pretty quick, So that listen to Idiots Discuss the Universe.
All right, guys.
When does your album
we're
come
gonna
out,
let you
Spencer?
guys. Oh yeah. Say that before
the
we go.
Odius album comes out June 21st, and all of the singles are up on Spotify and iTunes and wherever you listen to music. And so follow us and check it out.
Where can we
You can pre-order the album. Thanks for asking. At Bandcamp, the Odius. Just Google the Odius, and we have a Bandcamp page, and we have a bunch of sweet, nifty merch up there too. And
Ooh, yeah, the shirts are tight.
How do you spell the Odius?
It's
It means smelly.
It means the smelly.
That's not what I asked.
It's THE space ODIOUS. It's like French.
Excellent.
But not. Yeah, it means the one with the Jewish friend.
Wow.
the one who
Such
can
a
say
forward
that.
thinking. And the one who can say that they have.
No,
a
I'm
Jewish
just
friend.
as Jewish as Asher.
That's incredible.
so-
Beautiful.
Yeah, by that he means
Yeah, we're both
halfies.
mudbloods.
Yeah, but we both went bald way.
Yeah,
too
it
young.
scarred us. So that's
Yeah,
Because it's the same person. All right. On that note, guys, thank you so much for listening to For the Story podcast. We love you so much. We will talk to you all next week. We're watching either Brightburn or Aladdin. We're not sure. We're doing one or the other. But we love you all so much. Goodbye.
Papa Piss plucked plenty of pancakes out of my pink
such a
pussy.
sick fuck, dude. God, you need to stop with that shit. Okay. Dude, yeah, that was so fun. Thank you guys.